How is everyone doing today? We have our air conditioner on in the background, so I'm not sure if that's affecting the noise or anything else. Today I wanted to show you guys the Jigsaw pepper. It is August 28th of 2023, and this is a really cool variety. Our first time growing it, and I thought I would sit down and take a look at it with you guys. Look at the variation on this. You got like a lavender purple, you got a little bit of a darker purple. This one's been growing for a minute now, so there's a lot more of the white variation on it than there is of the dark coloring on it. But a beautiful ornamental pepper. We have not tried this pepper at all, so I think we're going to take a few of these off and take it inside to try, as well as save seeds. From what I've heard from a lot of people, is this is actually a pretty good flavored pepper considering it's an ornamental. Most ornamentals are grown to be eye candy. All peppers are edible in all stages of development, whether they're green, whether they're ornamentals, no matter what. All peppers, almost all peppers, I guess there might be a couple out there that I haven't heard of, but I don't know why anybody would grow that type. So if you even see an ornamental pepper like at a grocery store, for example, and you take it home and you grow it, those peppers are edible. They just might not be of the best flavor because they're more made for eye candy than they are anything else like that. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to show this one this year, just because it's kind of, for some reason, kind of got put on the back burner by us. But it's showing up in the yard and it's doing great and it looks beautiful. It has purple peppers. This is one of the reasons I wanted to do videos, and that I like doing videos, is if I can find something that interests me, it might interest my friends and family that watch these videos. So we're not trying to be tutors, we're not professionals at all. We just really like to try to grow unique things, and when something comes along, if it has something interesting to say, I would like to say it out loud. So this is a beautiful pepper. When I was looking online, sometimes I do research. It's literally not a deep dive or anything. I'll just jump online real quick and maybe reaffirm some information or find some information about it. I was doing that with this one and I looked it up and it says it's a capsicum annum. I'm not sure what its parents are and how this variety came to be established, but I don't think it's an annum. I just really kind of don't feel like it is. It almost feels like it's a cross between one called an ahi yuyo, which would be a capsicum back-atom cultivar, which is the fruitiest of peppers, which you would call the sugar rush peach and things like that, and it looks like maybe a fish pepper along those lines too. I'm not sure what its parents are or how its genetics were established. These ones we got from a friend that got them from Baker's Creek. It was actually in a Baker's Creek seed package. But what tells me that is the capsicum annum, which would be almost every single type of typical pepper. You would have tickleable pepper, typical pepper. It would be like jalapenos, cayennes, a lot of those types that are your typical peppers are capsicum annums. Whereas in a lot of times the ornamentals and as well as super hots are in the capsicum chinense cultivar. Whereas in the ones that almost have, this is why I think it has capsicum chinense in it, which is an annum because of its ornamental qualities. Almost all ornamentals that I've ever seen come from the capsicum chinense cultivar, and then also the look of the peppers. I've never seen the glassy look on an annum before. If you look, it almost looks like they're made of glass. Almost like there's almost like a purple lacquer over the top of like a white colored pepper. This one right here is actually really red because it's been on there for a while. I'm going to pull some of these red ones off so that we can give it a taste. But that makes me think it comes from the back-atom cultivar, which is ones that almost always turn out glossy. If we get some more from the back-atom, to me, it looks like a cross between a fish pepper, which would be an annum, and a ahi yuyo pepper, which is a back-atom pepper that's purple. It looks like gems, almost. Go ahead and snag this one off here too, because it's not quite red, but it might give us a little bit of look and difference on the flavor. Generally, when we save seeds from peppers, all we do is we just clip the pods off, let them dry, and then we end up storing them in a jar. Once they're dried out really well, and then when we want the seeds, it's almost like a ready-made seed packet. We'll just bust a dried pod open and plant the seeds like that.
This is really cool.
Look at all the different stripes. Even the peppers are really variegated with like 3 or 4 colors. Like the fish pepper is one that's really cool to look at because it's a variegation of white and green on the plant. This one right here, our camera, I always feel like our camera never really does things quality. There's lavender on here. There's like a darker green. There's a little bit of a lighter green. There's some really light green here. Like I was saying, this is lavender. There's some areas that are dark purple. A really beautiful ornamental. So if you wanted to grow something inside on your countertop, for example, and I'm not quite sure, I know that people that have tried this said that the flavor is not typical of an ornamental, which can not have that great a flavor. They say that it's actually a pretty good flavor. So I'm hoping for that, because this would be a great one to have on the counter as far as a conversation piece and something cool to look at indoors. If it also has good flavor, it makes a fresh pepper that you can just pop off and put in a pot of chili or into a soup or into like spice up a salsa real quick. But from what I understand, they're supposed to be around jalapeno heat. Everybody that I've seen review these or talk about these say it's hotter than a jalapeno though. Don't expect the jalapeno heat. But if it has the back atom heat, that's more of a lightning heat. That means it should burn quick and then go away. If it's like the atom or something along those lines, it is more along the lines of like a thunder heat, which just lingers for a long time. So Angel decided she wanted to give this one a try on camera. We're going to take it inside and see how it turns out. So this is the Jigsaw pepper. I'd also like everyone to note that if you look online, you'll see several variations of the Jigsaw pepper. There's one that's actually a full-size plant that's considered a super hot that isn't this one. I don't know that anybody sells for sure Jigsaw pepper seeds like this type except for Baker's Creek. I'm sure that there is a couple out there. I just want everybody that might go out looking for this specific pepper to know that there's another one called the Jigsaw. I think they call it the Fatali Gourmet Jigsaw. This might be how you determine where, if you're looking at pictures for the Jigsaw and you're looking for this one specific, you're going to look for the strong variegation. That'll be a big determiner on this one being the ornamental Jigsaw that we're talking about in this video. So this is the Jigsaw pepper, August 28th of 2023. Take it inside and give it a little try. Love you guys. Catch you in a second. All right, so August 28th of 2023. These peppers are only about an inch long. There's a whole horde that's going to ripen out there now that we got these ones off. This is the Jigsaw pepper, specifically from Baker's Creek. I know that other people offer it as well. I just wanted to specify that once again though. The peppers, I hate that our phone doesn't show well. Look at the color on that though. It's like,
it shows better in natural light, but
this coloration reminds me of when you see like oil on water.
yeah.
It's almost got like a metallic kind of color to it. And also, like, you look how glassy they are. That's what makes me think it's a back atom. Being that it's an ornamental makes me think Chinense. Nothing about this to me says atom. And I wouldn't even know how to do that. I don't know if it's supposed to go to a lab to test its genetics or what its parents were or anything along those lines. Does it smell hot?
Yeah. But I've had not hot peppers smell that way too. Has very thin walls. Quite a few seeds. Not a lot of placenta.
And most of the heat when you're having peppers and stuff like this will be in the placenta, which is the like white layer that's usually on the inside, and the seeds as well. That's what will absorb most of the capsaicin oil or whatever it's called. So we always kind of strip that out of there whenever we're trying. We're not big hot pepper fans at all. We might try something like this on camera. Like I was saying, Angel's trying this one. I'm probably not going to give it a shot. I'll probably give it a sniff, but that's about it.
Okay, let's take a look here.
Is it hot?
It is very spicy.
The internet says it's supposed to be around the heat of a jalapeno, but everybody that I've seen says it's hotter than a jalapeno. It's like maybe a really hot jalapeno. Jalapenos to me can range, well, if you're not counting the jalapeno, which has no heat, jalapenos usually range around 3,000 to 10,000 Scoville units.
I think it's hotter than a jalapeno.
Does it have linger heat or
Yes.
lightning heat? Linger
It
heat?
does have lingering heat. My whole mouth is burning, but like we said, we are not big on hot peppers, and so we're wimps when it comes to it.
And we're out of...
It does have a good amount of spice. The flavor, I didn't get a lot of flavor. It just started heating up my mouth almost instantly. But it was... kind of did taste a little bit like ornamental type of flavor. Like, not too bitter, but not really sweet either. So
even though it's
kind of just a plain flavor, but it's got some good heat to it.
Nothing on the really strong flavor?
Mm-mm.
Here, let me cut one open and I'll just give it a smell. I don't think I'll taste it. Maybe I'll touch it on my tongue, just in case. We'll cut this one open here. This one's about mid, not quite over or under. Yeah, I do smell the perfumey smell to it. Oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm scared.
Well, then don't do it.
Usually we dry the pods. I think on these ones right here, we're just going to go ahead and pull seeds out of to try.
Just the ones we've opened anyways.
Yeah, slingshot that over there. I shouldn't be getting that on my hands. Sorry, we're not professionals. We just, if we see something unique out in the yard, we like to grow unique things and give it a shot, so. Ooh, yeah, quick heat. Ooh, smoky.
UT's gonna have the hiccups here in a minute.
I ain't even trying to front either. Angel is 1,000 times better at handling heat than I am. I'm a big, big wimp. If she's a wimp, I'm a big, big wimp.
Well, it has got lots of spice. It is very beautiful, many colors. We enjoyed growing it this year. And looking at all the pretty colors and the variegation, even on the peppers, on the stems, on the leaves. It does have some good heat. I would suggest even drying it, and you can make pepper flakes out of it to put on pizza if that's what you like, or any of your dishes that you like red pepper flakes on. I think that would be perfect for those. It doesn't have a huge amount of flavor, so not really sweet, but not super bitter either. It's just kind of plain. The heat hits you faster than you could think of to even try to get any flavor from it. But
the ornamentals to me have a really perfumey flavor, and this one does have that perfumey flavor like an ornamental, but I don't know. It's
strong.
Yeah, it's not as strong as some of the other ornamental perfumey flavors. We don't necessarily mind the perfumey flavor in a lot of peppers, but it's just not one of our preferred kind of flavors. It's actually not too bad for an ornamental,
Yeah.
but it's still not great for most peppers. I can see where, now I can see after trying it, even with its look, for it being an ornamental and also having that glossy look, I can see where it probably does have some anum in there. But that, for example, could be the fish pepper, and which is an anum, and a yuyo, which is a back atom. So it still could have back atom in there, just be labeled as an anum.
Yeah, it's good mainly for heat. So if you wanted to add spice to something, this would be perfect for that. But this is our Jigsaw ornamental pepper. We've enjoyed looking at it and happy to have been able to show you and give it a little taste for you.
All right, so I'll take you outside for just a quick second, one last look at the plant, and we'll catch you in a second. It's the Jigsaw pepper. Once again, I want to say that there's another Jigsaw out there that will grow like a regular size plant, and it's actually considered a super hot. Its Scoville unit ranges at about 500,000 or something along those lines. You'll definitely notice the difference. It won't have the variegation like this one does either. I believe it doesn't. But this one, I've never seen one with this many different kinds of color of variegation, except for one other, and that's one that is recent to us called the Midwest Midnight Eclipse, or Midnight Orange, which is over here, and I'll try to show that one later on this year as well. But wanted to show this one, really excited. A lot of the reason that we grow isn't just to get the usable peppers off of it. A lot of it is just to see something unique and have something unique out in the yard. We have very little space, so we like to grow as many unique varieties as possible. Take a look at it. This one right here, even though it's an ornamental, it was our first year growing it, I would definitely grow this one again. I like this one a lot. I would probably rather grow this one over some of the other ornamentals that we have grown. The Mutant's a unique one. The Medusa is probably my favorite ornamental. We'll try to show a video on that later this season. This is a really, really good one right here too. This was the Midwest Fiesta. Like I was saying, there's another one out there that's got even better variegation than this one. But when it comes to the beauty of these peppers, the peppers are glassy, look like little gems on here, and then they darken out to a really, really beautiful red. Several different colors of variegation on the plant. It's an ornamental, so I could grow 1,000 of these probably in the yard, clustered up, if I wanted to switch it all out to just this kind. A really cool one indoors. This one right here impresses me enough that I might take this in for the cold season. We got very little space to grow indoors for the cold season, so there's only a couple types that we usually take in and try to winter over. This one right here might be one that I would take indoors. I can see where it would be labeled an annum, but I have a sneaky suspicion it might have the Capsicum chinense variation or cultivar of pepper in it, and it might also have the Capsicum back at them. There's 4 major cultivars of pepper. It's the annum, which is the most prominent. There is the chinense, which tends to be the super hots, like the ghost pepper, scorpion, and the ornamentals. Almost all ornamentals are hot. This one's actually pretty mild for an ornamental though. But that's usually where the chinense is. The back atom comes from a lot of tropical type peppers. It's the fruitiest tasting of all the peppers, which would be the sugar rush peach, the lemon drop, the ahia yuyo. There's a couple others that are really, really good variations from the back atom cultivar. And the 4th major cultivar is one called Capsicum pubescens, and that actually is a black seeded pepper that has been around for a really long time, but is probably the rarest of the 4 cultivars. I would argue that it probably does have annum in it somewhere, but it's got to have chinense or back atom in there as well somewhere, just because of it being what it is. But a really, really good one that I was super happy to grow for you guys and give you guys a look at. It's the Jigsaw pepper, August 28th of 2023. We make videos to have fun and show a small picture of a small moment in a small situation. We're not professionals, we just want to have fun, and this is a super fun pepper. So we love you guys. Recommend it if you're looking for something small to grow indoors this cold season especially, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.